AVC Sports presents high school basketball. Tonight's game is brought to you by Doan Ford, Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance, WB Green Insurance, West 40 Auto Sales, Southeastern Med, AMG Vanadium, Valentine Insurance, Woodsfield Savings Bank, The Rogers Company, and Papa John's of Cambridge.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to high school basketball tonight on WILE 97.7 and YRP streaming on AVC's Facebook page. It is the Cambridge Bobcats and their cross-county rival Meadowbrook Colts. Kafury and John Valentine in the press box, high above Gene Ford Court.
Windows open, music pumping, pep band's here.
And the crowd's starting to fill up.
Starting to fill up.
Late arriving California crowd.
Well, it's still Christmas break for some people. So
turn the page. It's 2023, folks. Let's go. New year. And for both these coaches, they hope a new season, right?
Yeah. Well,
first half of the season has not been kind as the Bobcats come into 2-7 and the Colts 0-8. So both these teams looking for something to flip the switch.
Yeah, once January comes, that's kind of what your goal is, right? You use that first month to kind of get your legs underneath you and get your game plans in and your, your comfortability with each other and your playbook. And then once January comes, it's time to start getting serious about getting prepared for the tournament.
Bobcats, as we said, 2-7 on the season, and some of those losses you and I have experienced have been a brief spurt loss, where they played pretty well for 2, maybe 3 quarters, and then have a dead zone of about 2 or 3 minutes that does them in.
Yeah, it's 2.5 to 3 quarters of pretty competitive, if not decent basketball, and then it's 1 quarter or a quarter and a half, and man, the wheels just come flying off. I rewatched the John Glenn Cambridge game from the other day, and with a minute to go in the third period, Cambridge was down 2. Finished the quarter down 10. A minute later, they're down 10, and then the wheels just came off in that last quarter. So, and that's, as you said, several games, the Indian Valley game, the Bel Air game, and St. Clairsville game. There's been several games where Cambridge has been in the game and a chance to compete, and then for whatever reason, they just kind of disappear for a quarter.
The other side, Coach Jarrett's charges from the Colts entered this season really without any points coming back and any proven starters. The Colts have been on a long run over the last several years where they've won a lot of games, and this year all of a sudden are very young. They don't have hardly any varsity experience, and the guys that they do were role players coming back, and so right now they're struggling to find some consistency on offense and be able to compete at that varsity level.
Yeah, on the defensive end too, they struggle there, but you're right, they've had a really good run here in the last 10 years of really a handful of pretty good players, and you put pretty good players together with other good players, and you put a pretty good run together. So a couple of regional appearances and even a state appearance that, they've had a really good run here the last 10 years. So at some point you would assume, that it's going to catch up to you, and unfortunately for Coach Jarrett, it's this year. And
time to pay the piper.
Yeah, it is, and but that, from a coaching perspective, put your coaching hat back on. Hey, you got your work cut out for you now, dude. Hey, you don't have 5 starters that average 15 plus and that are 6'4", 6'5" behind you, or a singleton that's averaging 30. So now it's time to coach, and let's see what you can do. So and knowing Coach Jarrett a little bit, he's a pretty feisty guy and he's an intelligent guy. I'm sure he's working hard with them down there in Byesville, trying to get some things worked out. As you said, 0-8 so far. But I'm sure there's a few games on that schedule that they've got circled that they know they got a chance.
This was one that was circled a little bit, because it's always circled.
Regardless of the situation, it's definitely circled. There's no doubt about it.
Well, the Colts come in 0-8, as you said, Cats at 2-7. Both teams looking to start the 23 part of the campaign off on a good foot tonight. And for the Colts, they're going to struggle a little bit because a couple of their better players are injured and out. And we talked about Easton Eibel, who's averaging 5 a game, but he's one of those guys returning that had varsity experience. And the other one was Singleton, who Dane was their leading scorer, and he's been under the weather, and his availability is questionable for the night. So,
yeah, leading scorer and leading rebounder, leading shot blocker. You know, he's obviously got some size, so that really helps. But, yeah, they're going to be a little shorthanded tonight, and, you know, starting a couple freshmen, a couple sophomores, and so it's going to be a different look tonight, which is unfortunate. You know, you want to go into a rivalry game with, you know, your guns loaded and everybody available, but it is what it is, and you go with what you got.
Bobcats may be a little bit healthier tonight. We noticed warming up on the floor Reagan Rogers, 5'11 junior, who's been out most of the season, and a chance for him to get back. And what that does to the Bobcats is gives them a little bit more depth in their rotation, which is something the last 2 or 3 games they've kind of hit a wall physically. They just haven't had enough legs left towards the end of the game.
Yeah, and that could be, you know, one of those factors we talked about earlier about why there's always a quarter that the Cats struggle with. You know, they're still young guys out there, and they haven't played a lot of basketball together, and not a lot of experience on the floor at times. So, varsity experience, that is. So, you know, it takes a little bit of a while to kind of gel and those kind of things. But you're right, the depth certainly played a factor the other day at John Glenn. You could just see the fatigue in the Bobcat players in the end of that third and in the fourth quarter. So Reagan Rogers warming up tonight. He's still out there on the floor, so our guess is he is going to play a little bit. That'll really help with that depth, because really Cambridge is only bringing one guy, sometimes 2 off the bench, and that's just really tough on your starters.
Before we take a break here in our pregame, let you know that some of the Ray Sims factoids coming in here. Meadowbrook and Cambridge have played over 100 times. Cats have the edge, 77 wins, 43 losses, but the Colts recently have been dominating the series as they won all 3 games a year ago. The last one, the closest, at 47-44. And on this date in Bobcat basketball history in 1978, you remember that year?
Well, I do, actually.
Senior center Peter Bowles for the Bobcats scored 40, and senior forward Dan Stoner, who has a grandson on the team, he scored 36, becoming the first duo in CHS history to score 35 points plus in a game as the Cats beat New Philly 98-74.
And has that happened since? Well, I don't know.
I bet it has.
I don't know. 35 is a lot of points, buddy.
Yeah, well, Gino Ford was around for a while there. All there had to do is be one other guy.
There you go.
We'll do a little research.
Where's Ray? Let's go get him.
I'm sure he said that was the first time in a long time. So we'll step out for a minute or so. We'll be back with tonight's starting lineups right after this.
The Rogers Company congratulates the Meadowbrook Colts team on a great season. The team at Rogers Company works hard, too, to earn your business. They inspect, install, and repair all makes and all models of furnaces, humidifiers, and air purifiers. Don't be left out in the cold. Give them a call at 740-685-8677.
In your time of need, will you be happy with your cut-rate car insurance? Will you have the coverages you need? Valentine Insurance is dedicated to protecting you and your family when you need it. As an independent insurance agency, we have partnered with many reputable insurance companies who even have local claims adjusters to provide you with unbeatable service. Are you going to trust a talking lizard to help you with your claim? Really? Don't let this happen to you. Trust the professionals at Valentine Insurance. Call 994-1776.
Our community is a special place, and you work hard to make a living and build a good life for you and your family. It's not always easy. You deserve a local financial partner to be there when you need them most. At Woodsfield Savings Bank, we live, work, and play here. Our cutting-edge technology combined with local decision-making allows us to deliver unmatched personal service. Let us start earning your trust today. Woodsfield Savings Bank. It's personal here.
Welcome back to Gene Ford Court. Pregame continues here between the Bobcats and the Colts. Round 1, about 10 days away from round 2 down at the Corral. But tonight we get the 2-7 Cats, the 0-8 Colts, and the starters look like this for the visiting Colts, and they got the road orange unis on tonight. 6'1" sophomore Gunnar Davis, 6'2" sophomore Colton Delancey, Dane DeVillas, a 6'1" sophomore, Jacob Burris, 5'9" freshman, and 6'1" freshman Mason Campbell. Couple freshmen, couple sophomores, a lot of youth. And in a rivalry game, emotions usually flare up a bit anyway. It's how well does a young guy handle all that?
Well, you can look at it two ways, right? One is he's too young to know any better, right, which is normally the case. They haven't necessarily been in that situation before, so that's kind of the way I would look at it. And the other is, hey, we've been playing against each other all these years, and we live 5 miles apart, so there's all that natural built-in rivalry anyway.
Usually not 500 people there.
No.
Not always. For the Bobcats tonight, pretty similar starting lineup as they've had all year. Senior Davion Barr, 6'3", averaging 14 a game. Caden Moore, 5'10", senior, averaging 4. Josiah Barnett, 5'9", sophomore, at 10 points a game. Braden Gregg, 2-point average at 6'1", and a junior. And Devin Ogle, 6'2", junior, and 13 points a game there. Bobcats, talked to Coach Bertucci before the game, said, let's put 4 quarters together. Coach Jarrett wants to just see some positive spurts. We'll work on getting a whole quarter or two together. Let's just get a couple together.
Well, especially
eliminate turnover.
Yeah, especially the situation that Coach Jarrett's in with so many young guys starting and not his regular guys on the floor. So a chance for the young guys to step up, prove that they deserve some more playing time when the older guys get back.
Pregame just about down to 0. Go ahead, finish up the popcorn. Let's get started. When we come back, the opening tip right after these messages.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Now located at 16050 McConnellsville Road in Caldwell, Ohio. Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance Company is a mutual insurance company established in 1896 for the purpose of providing insurance coverage to rural Ohio. They offer a product to meet your insurance need, whether it is for a farm, rental dwelling, home in town, secondary or seasonal dwelling, churches, or mobile home. They partner with Grinnell Mutual Insurance Company to offer liability coverage to package with their patrons Buckeye Mutual policy. Call today at 638-3604 and follow them on Facebook at Patrons Buckeye.
I was sitting in my car and it wouldn't start. I lifted the hood and the engine was falling apart. What would I do? My eyes filled with tears. Then on the radio I heard of West 40 by Pay here, where for a little money down and a little each week, I could have a car, nice, shiny, and sleek. So I walked in the door and I put the money down. Now I got a nice car that I can drive around. West 40 by Pay here will help rebuild your credit. The corner of Dewey and Route 40 in Cambridge, don't you forget it.
West 40 Auto Sales, corner of Route 40 and Dewey Avenue in Cambridge, is home of the guaranteed credit approval, with most loans approved while you wait. Go to their website to fill out an online loan application, west40autosales.com. You'll also find their weekly special listed there.
When it's game night, let Papa John's Pizza on Southgate Parkway feed your team after the game. Hey, this is Shannon. You can create your pizza with all your favorite toppings or pick one of our specialty pizzas like the Super Hawaiian, the Philly Cheesesteak, the Works, or the Fiery Buffalo Chicken. Don't forget we also have chicken poppers, wings, breadsticks, and cheese sticks too. Call 740-439-PAPA. That's 439-7272 or order from your phone at papajohns.com.
Welcome back to Gene Ford Court. Bill Kafury, John Valentine, high atop the Cats lair.
It's a whiteout tonight.
That's what it is,
home team, the home student section.
Whiteout night.
Pretty decent crowd tonight.
Actually, it is, yeah. Team's got most schools back in session today, so
Yep.
chance to get back into it tonight. Brett Kleiner, on-site producer, director
extraordinaire. Something like that.
Starting lineups for the Colts once again: Gunnar Davis, Colton Delancey, Dane DeVillas, Jacob Burris, and Mason Campbell. For the Bobcats, Davian Barr, Caden Moore, Josiah Barnett, Braden Gregg, Devin Ogle, and give you a chance to get 2 more sentences in here before we get started. Give me the keys for both these teams to kind of be successful tonight, what they're looking for.
Well, it's a different animal today for Meadowbrook, right? I mean, going into it with your regular starters and your regular players into it, you want to establish your dominance. They've dominated this series the last several years, and you want to continue that and let Cambridge know you want to continue. Tonight's a little bit different. So, I think it's the young guys have to take care of the ball. You got 2 or 3 freshmen on the floor and a couple sophomores. They're going to have to take care of the ball, limit Cambridge's possessions, and slow the game down. Meadowbrook only averages 29 points a game with their regular starters. So assuming that they're not going to be able to score a lot anyway, they're going to have to slow the game down for sure. On the flip side for Cambridge, turnovers have been the Achilles heel for Cambridge really all season, along with that 1 quarter of just not being able to focus, not being able to compete. So for your Cambridge, take care of the ball, run up and down the floor, and make sure you play 4 full quarters of basketball.
We can start now. I got my picture from my son of my granddaughter, Callie, sitting in front of the TV screen watching tonight's ball game up in Toledo.
She never sends me any texts. How come she sends them all to you?
There you go. Hi, Callie. Just about ready to get underway. Delancey and Barr will be in the center circle. Lucas Hutchison with the toss. And here we go. Tapped up, and ball still loose on the floor and controlled eventually by the Bobcats. Ogle. Man-to-man pressure by the Colts. Bobcats looking to pound inside as they always do, and they get it inside to their leading scorer, Davion Barr, and he will finish. Nice high post pass from Ogle to Barr, and they do that back and forth all night long. Full court pressure. Bobcats trap at half court. Colts handle it. Delancey, deep 3, cha-ching. And the Colts lead it 3-2.
Yeah, nice shot there by Delancey. Had his feet set. Didn't know that Cambridge defender was right behind him, about ready to try to block it, but didn't pressure him at all.
Right side for the Bobcats. Gregg back out on top. This time Barr to Barnett. Little fake right going left hand. And the Cats have 2 layups in their first 2 possessions and lead at 4-3.
Cambridge goes as Josiah Barnett goes. I know Devin Ogle and Davion Barr are leading scorers, but he is the captain on the floor.
Delancey from 15, couldn't get it to go. Rebound. Campbell, and he'll pull it back out. Top of the key, he'll take a hesitating 3 that misses the mark. Had a good look quickly, and then couldn't decide what to do with it. 4-3, Cats with the lead in the ball. Colts back up into the half-court set. Barr top of the key, right side Moore. They'll set a pick. Moore will take it right to the baseline, high off the glass, couldn't get it to go. Rebound to Burris, knocked out of bounds, and it will be Colt ball. Cats will set up more full-court pressure. 6:23 of the first period, 4-3 Cambridge. Burris up the left side, reversed it, almost stolen there. Campbell across the line, now it is picked. Up ahead, and Moore on the run out, lays it up and in. Turnover points for the Bobcats. Quick hands of Barnett that time from behind, getting it started. 6-3, 2 minutes in.
Good that Meadowbrook's being real patient, though, to break this press.
And it tends to almost too patient. Yeah,
Put my foot in my mouth.
Too many times, and Dane Singleton will check in the first whistle. Singleton averaging 9 a game. The 6'3 senior give him a little more presence inside against Barr and Ogle.
Singleton not feeling well the last few days, so trying to limit his minutes a little bit.
Quick pass to Barr. He penetrates. Kick out. Gregg three from the corner. Off the mark. Rebounded by Barr. And right there, Dane Singleton, who just checked in, will pick up a foul and send Davion Barr to the line to shoot two. Davion struggling at the line in the early season here, 28%. And he flips that one up a little too hard as well. And you and I have both said, this guy's such an athlete, so talented that he's got to be able to figure this out at some point.
Yeah, especially if you want to be able to make a stretch run, you got to be able to knock down free throws.
And I noticed even that time, the second free throw, he backed up 6 inches off the line.
Yeah.
So instead of adjusting the shot, just adjust where you stand. There you go.
Whatever works.
Whatever works. Davila's down the corner to Davis. Inside feed, Singleton, and shoots it up over top of Ogle and in.
The defense has to rotate a little bit. And Singleton's a big body, man. He cleans it up inside. You're going to have to know where he is at all times.
7-5 Bobcats. Moore. Again, looking for that high pick and roll. Barnett pull up for the deep jumper. That one's off the mark. Tapped around inside. Pulled down by Davis. Pushing it out to Campbell. To the right corner. Delaney had to save it in bounds and then finally knocked out of bounds by the Cats. And the Bobcats go to the bench for the first time. Braden Gregg sits down, and Garrett Carpenter, 5'10 freshman, comes in averaging about 6 a game. And usually he's instant offense for the Cats when he gets in there.
Yeah, averages 6 a game, and he rarely, he hasn't started the game yet, but boy, he comes in and he shoots it.
Delancey, left side. Davila's off the dribble, back out. 3 ball, Singleton off the mark and rebounded by Barr. He'll pull it and push it. Looks down ahead, has Ogle there under the basket. He'll catch it, tough catch, and attack the basket. And Dane Singleton has not been in the game a minute, and he just picked up foul number 2. Only the 2 fouls called all night. And that's going to send Devin Ogle to the line to shoot 2.
And just like Barr, Ogle, as most of the Cats are, not shooting it particularly well from the free throw line. He's at 46% on the season.
That one pops in and out. See if he makes an adjustment on the foul line. I don't think so. But him and Ogle, Barr and Ogle, both get lots of chances. 25 and 26 chances at the line throughout the season. So you're going to get to the line, you got to figure that part of it out because you're going to get a lot of chances to score there. 7-5 Cats, 4:40 to go. Cordell West checks in. And the second one good for Ogle as well. Again, full court pressure by the Bobcats. Davila's over to Delancey. Skips it back. Davila's trapped in the backcourt. Goes over the top to Singleton. His pass tapped away. Delancey pulls it down. Fakes, he'll penetrate, put up the floater, and he's going to get free throws.
A little out of control there, got bailed out by a couple of Bobcats.
Yeah, he was a little bit further away to shoot it than I think he wanted to be, but you're right, the Cats bailed him out there. Ogle picks up his first, and Singleton will check that Delancey free throw, short of the mark. He got things started for the Colts with an early 3. Singleton off the bench has scored 2, and now Delancey cannot split the pair. Singleton keeps it alive, though, and he'll get a second chance here.
One of the items that the Cats have really struggled this year is boxing out and rebounding.
Singleton, little floater from the right baseline, flipped it up. I thought he was passing it, and that thing just found the bottom of the hoop. 8-7. Cats with the ball in a 1-point lead. We're halfway through this opening period. Cambridge again being deliberate, pounding it inside. Barr triple team. Kicks it back out to Ogle through his legs, and that's going to be a turnover to the Bobcats. Over in the back. And the Colts a chance to retake the lead. Throw the records out.
Yeah.
When these two teams play.
Hey, look, you know, again, at the beginning, you can't play sloppy. It doesn't matter who the opponent is or what the records are in this particular game. You got to be ready to play.
Delancey gets it in. Contested inbounds pass. Singleton keeps it alive. Double team and the steal. Delancey tried to bang it off of Carpenter. He came up with it. Coast to coast blocked by Singleton. Cats will retain possession. I'm sure Carpenter could feel him on his hip the whole way down. Moore penetrates. And trying to flip it down low. He had Ogle there, but couldn't get through the defender, instead got fouled. And Delancey picks up his first, team's third, and for the Bobcats into a rotation now where Ogle checks out. Greg in with 3:23 to go, 8-7 Cambridge. Greg DeMoore back to Barnett, three from the left corner, cha-ching. Josiah Barnett has been improving that outside shot as the season's gone on. West with it, works it across the timeline right into a double team, right side to Villas, and he traveled. 6'1" sophomore will head to the bench as Mason Campbell back in. You and I both were looking at turnovers prior to the game, and both these teams have more than their share, but the Colts have struggled with that particular stat. Timeout on the floor by the Colts, who trail Cambridge at 11-7. We'll be back right after this.
In today's marketplace, you have many choices for insurance. WB Green Insurance, a representative of Westfield Insurance, is committed to providing you with excellent coverage for your home and auto at a fair and competitive price. Westfield has been in the neighborhood for over 150 years, providing peace of mind and quality insurance products through independent insurance professionals. Sharing knowledge, building trust is Westfield's pledge to their customers. Call WB Green Insurance today.
Back to the Cats there. 11-7 Cambridge, 3:03 left here in the first quarter. Before we went to the break, we talked about both these teams' problems handling the ball, but the Colts, what did we say, averaging 21 turnovers a game?
21.9, so we'll go ahead and round that up to 22.
Math man.
Yes, sir. But the Cats are averaging 15 turnovers a game, so, then so far that holds about true, 4-1 here, advantage Cats so far.
Moore looking for the post feed. Works off the pick, pulls up on the foul line, nothing there, gets it to Carpenter who will reset. Back out to Barrett, 2:40 and counting. Off the dribble, step back three, that one halfway down. Rebound, stick back, not there by Greg, and the Cats over the back aggressively. Carpenter on the foul, his first, team's second. Cats getting to the boards a little bit there.
Yeah, just got to convert when you get that look.
Delancey. Reverse to Campbell. Up ahead, Singleton. Trap, triple team. Somebody's got to be open down to West in the corner. Looks for the post fade. Singleton has it down low, works to the baseline, doesn't get it, gets it on the rim, doesn't get it to go. Barr with the rebound out ahead. Barnett running the floor. No, rattled in and out. And Delancey hustles back with the rebound, pushes it the other way. 2-minute mark, 11-7. Again a three from the corner, this one by Davis, and the rebound to Carpenter. Up ahead, and Barr fouled on the floor heading to the hoop. And that one on Gunnar Davis. And as we suspected, Reagan Rogers into the game for the first time. 1:50 to go.
Making his debut for the Cats.
Davila is back in as well. Carpenter inbounds it out on top. They'll swing it all the way back around to Carpenter. Pull up from 16. Left it short. Davila's with the rebound. Up ahead to Campbell in the corner. Nearly threw it away. Davila's right side to West. Puts it on the floor. He'll take it. It finds Singleton, who blew the left-handed layup. And the Cats will push it the other way. Barr all the way around the hoop and in. Second hoop for him, and got a player down. Cordell West looks like he rolled an ankle. And he'll pop up and head to the bench. Already a short bench for Coach Jarrett.
Yeah. And if he's not on there, he's only got 3 more able bodies sitting over there. If West can't get back in there, it looks like he's moving around pretty good now.
Davis will check back in, give the Cats a chance to get some full court pressure lined up, leading 13-7. Delancey across the timeline. There's the trap. Skips it back to DeVilliers. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. Back out to Singleton on the feed down low. Davis left it on the floor, and the Cats come up with it. Ogle with a 2-on-2. Nice pass inside. Reverse layup by Gregg. And I don't know how he made the pass, how he caught it or shot it.
Yeah, the pass was very impressive, but then the shot, wow. Up and under.
Switch to the left hand. Aiden Gregg gives the Cats a 15-7 lead and another 10-second call on the Colts.
That seemed like a quick 10, didn't it?
Well, it did, and that's Coach Jarrett's looking to the officials. Said that hand was moving pretty fast. That wasn't 1,001, that's 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's the thing. Every official's got their own clock in their head, so it just depends on how quick they're moving that hand.
1,001.
Everybody counts are different.
1,002.
Yeah.
Last 30 seconds, Cats have an 8-point lead in the ball, and Moore going to hold it. Delancey, just a sophomore, calling out instructions to his teammates as the Cats in a 1-4 set here. And now with 10 to go, here they come. Left side, Rogers. Back out on top, Carpenter. 4 left, back to Rogers. He'll take the long 3, no good. Rebound inside by Ogle. He had time to shoot it, didn't realize it. But the Cats will take the lead to the quarter break. 15-7, Cambridge on top. Heading to period 2. We'll be back right after this.
This year, the Southeastern Med Cancer Services team is celebrating 30 years of being accredited by the National Commission on Cancer. Earning this accreditation and maintaining it for 3 decades is a testament to their team's quality outcomes, dedication, commitment, and care for their patients and community. Learn more by visiting seormc.org today.
The Rogers Company congratulates the Meadowbrook Colts team on a great season. The team at Rogers Company works hard, too, to earn your business. They inspect, install, and repair all makes and all models of furnaces, humidifiers, and air purifiers. Don't be left out in the cold. Give them a call at 740-685-8677.
Back at Gene Ford Court, 1 period down. 15-7 Bobcats after 1. Davion Barr, 5 points. Barnett with 5 for the Cats. Delancey with 3. Singleton with 4 for the Colts. And it will be Colt possession here to start things out. Bobcats have Barr, Ogle, Carpenter, Moore, and Rogers on the floor for the Colts. Delancey, Singleton, Campbell, DeVilliers, and Davis. And DeVilliers with it in the backcourt. Trap there again, over the top. Nearly threw it away. Did he? I believe so. Looked like a Colt player had a chance to save that, but he thought maybe the Cats touched it.
Yep. Yeah, he thought that he was going to be better off letting it go, and it turns into Meadowbrook's 7th turnover.
Bobcats on top by 8. Back on the attack. High post again to Ogle. Looks for the backdoor cut. Has it to Rogers. Didn't handle it as well. And the attack by Barr and the feed to Ogle. And Devin Ogle has his first field goal. And Barr with, again, another assist.
Yeah, good look.
Probably averages 4 or 5 of those a game.
He does. Actually, just under 5.
Delancey inside feed. Singleton works against a couple of defenders and battles it in.
And you can see why he's the Colts' leading scorer. I mean, he's a big body, not overly aggressive inside, but he's got a nice touch there.
That's it. He's got to be option number 1 every time down.
Absolutely.
Even against a double team that time.
And even with 2 fouls, and played most of that first quarter with 2 fouls.
He's not going anywhere.
No.
17-9. 7-minute mark of the first half here. Cats with the lead. Right side, Carpenter off the dribble. Back out on top. Cats will reverse it to Moore. Off the high pick. Spins back inside from the foul line. Didn't get it up. Nice inside feed to Rogers, who tried to get it to Ogle, and he got held a little bit, but no call there, and Ogle will lose it out of bounds.
Only the second turnover for Cambridge. Only had one in that whole first quarter, averaging 15. That's pretty successful.
Cats with a chance to set up full court pressure again. Doubling in the backcourt over to Delancey, up kid. He's got a man open, gets it all the way down to Burris. Burris shot up, no good. And Rogers with the rebound and the run out, cherry picking. Davion Barr unable to throw that one down, tried to throw it down and lost the grip on the way up. Colts wanted a technical as he hung there for a while. Inside feet again to Singleton, and again he'll score and one. He gets that low on the block. Cambridge doesn't have an answer for it.
No, and that's a weakness for Cambridge anyway. They lack size. You know, when Devin Ogle, who might be 6'6", is your force inside, you know you're going to be overmatched if you get a decent inside player.
17-11. Trying to complete the three-point play. Singleton this time cashes in. He has 9 of the Colt 12. Just under 6 left first half. 17-12 Cambridge. Moore on the right side off the dribble. Pull up from 15 on the wing. Knocked it down. Tough shot by Moore. It's the Bobcats' second hoop of the period. 7-point Cambridge lead. Full court pressure has been effective. They'll handle it here. Nope. Up ahead. They got it to Singleton, but well away from the hoop, and he did not handle that pass well. Another Colt turnover.
And even though that full court press is really more of a token press, they're really not rotating as much as they need to force turnovers. Colts just made a bad decision there.
Barnett left side, Moore. Closed out by Davis. They'll reverse it back to the right side. Rogers, kick out, Barnett. Back to Rogers, passed up the three, attacks the hoop, kick out, Barnett. Finds an open Moore, he won't take it. Well, he will from the foul line. And that one off the mark, rebound. Singleton and the push. Out ahead to Velez, will feed it. Delancey down the lane with the float and a hoop. Colton's second bucket of the night, and it is a 5-point Cambridge lead. Colts cutting into it. Rogers pull up from the foul line, just short of the mark. Tapped it out, kept it alive.
Josiah Barnett's got to get involved in the...
He's been pretty passive offensively.
Sure
Ogle with the fake and the attack of the basket. He draws the foul, and this one on Singleton. It is his third. Dane having a good half offensively, but defensively, he's going to have to sit for a while probably.
Yeah, and here comes the question for Coach Jarrett. You know, he's really your only force offensively here. So you start to consider, oh my goodness, I kind of need him now, right? I mean, you go into it with 2 freshmen and 3 sophomores in the starting lineup who gave you a great effort, but man, you don't want to leave him on the floor with 3.
Hey, Mason, Devin Ogle missed that first one as Campbell checks back in, and he missed the second one as well. Bobcats at the line tonight, just 2 of 6, but leading it by 5. Campbell across the top, has it. Back out on top, Delancey, who will take that 3, banks it in, touching. Colton Delancey has to become the offensive guy now, and he does. He gets it to within 2. 4:05 left first half, 19-17 Cambridge. And the Colts come roaring back. We'll roar with them in 30 seconds.
Our community is a special place, and you work hard to make a living and build a good life for you and your family. It's not always easy. You deserve a local financial partner to be there when you need them most. At Woodsfield Savings Bank, we live, work, and play here. Our cutting-edge technology combined with local decision-making allows us to deliver unmatched personal service. Let us start earning your trust today. Woodsfield Savings Bank. It's personal here.
Back at Gene Ford Court, 4:05 left in the half. Bobcats only able to muster 2 hoops here in the first half of this period. And calling the timeout, the Colts come storming back, down 15-7 after 1 period. Delancey's got 5 in the period, 8 in the ball game. And of course, Singleton had 5 in the period. He goes and sits down for a while with 3 fouls.
Well, and if you're Cambridge, that's the best case scenario. But where Cambridge is struggling now, it's they're not hitting their shots, and you really got to credit Meadowbrook because they're playing pretty good half-court defense and putting pressure on every single shot that Cambridge takes. And then Cambridge on the back end, on the defensive end, is playing a little lackadaisical and giving some open looks to the Colts, who are taking advantage of it.
Colts have led tonight early and threatening here. Bobcats off the timeout, get it to Barnett in the corner. He's got to become a little more aggressive offensively. Although he has 5 in the game, he doesn't look to score a lot. Gregg, inside out pass to Moore. Out on top to Ogle, splitting defenders. And Devin Ogle is that proverbial bull in the china shop. He sees a little space and thinks he can get through it, and we've seen him do that all year. He just plays right on the edge of out of control all the time. That's his game.
Yeah, it is, and for that reason, really probably shouldn't have him outside that three-point line.
Cats will retain possession. DeBar back in the ball game, and he got fouled on the way up by Delancey. That'll be Colton's second, and send Barr back to the line. And there's the conundrum for the Bobcats: is your 2 guys that get to the hoop the most shoot the worst at the foul line. And so it almost sometimes ends up being a turnover if you don't get any points out of it.
It's still better to have a foul on the opposing team, right? So somebody's going to take advantage of that if it's not you.
Barr back to the line, and front rim's another one. Let's see if he steps back a little bit. He does.
There's your couple inches.
Shuffled it back. If I hit the front line there, of course, last time it hit the back of the rim, he moved back. So, by all right, you got to move up an inch here. And this one, a little bit strong. Delancey with the rebound, and the Colts a chance to tie or take the lead with 3.5 left in the first half. Campbell, left side, gets it back. Delancey, deep 3, cha-ching! Taking the lead again. Well, Delancey 11 points here in the first half, and it's a 2019 Meadowbrook lead. Carpenter trying to answer, cha-ching! The freshman finally getting a shot up, and the Cats back on top, 22-20. And a loose ball. Carpenter comes up with it. And let's see where the foul's called. I don't know. Officials are going to discuss it now. The guy that blew the whistle wants to talk about it.
I think maybe it was. I don't think it was a foul on Carpenter. He stole it clean.
No, he might be.
An inadvertent whistle, maybe.
Maybe that's what it was.
Which would be a held ball situation. He anticipated a foul, and I don't think he really fouled him.
And that's going to be the case, I believe. Yep. Good interpretation.
You're welcome.
First one of the night. I didn't say, well, a year, too. First one of the year. Cats come up with a loose ball anyway. Barr with the steal up ahead. Barnett for 2. And the Cats scoring off their defense. And again, Barnett with the steal. Feeds it over to Carpenter. Back to Barnett. Shoved from behind by Burris. And that's going to put the Cats at the line again. Jacob Burris. Team foul number 7. And Josiah Barnett with the 1 and 1.
Now Barnett, a 67% free throw shooter on the season.
Not a lot of chances, 4 of 6, but he's got a little better rhythm. And that first one is up and good. And a bonus coming up, and a timeout taken by the Colts. So we'll split the free throws with a timeout. 25-20 Cats, 2:43 left first half. We'll be back right after this.
I'm not buying till I I check Down Ford.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job, your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there's one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doan Ford. You can be certain that you'll always get a great deal and the best service afterwards. In business for nearly 60 years has given Doan Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doan Ford. Online at DoanFord.com.
Back at Gene Ford Court, best crowd of the year on hand tonight.
Appears that might be true.
Well, it's the first game of the year, too.
Oh, well, see. There you go. You got me.
I tricked you. Hey, if you can get a call right on the floor, I can get one right in the press box.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
25-20 Cats with the lead, and I think we figured it out. A lot of Cambridge's points have come off of turnovers tonight. Their half-court offense hasn't been as effective as they would like, but the defense has gotten it done for them.
Yeah, and credit Meadowbrook's half-court defense for putting that pressure on Cambridge. They're getting shots, but they're forcing those shots. But Meadowbrook does have 10 turnovers, so that is why Cambridge is getting those easy runouts.
Barnett cans a pair. He's got 9. Cats lead by 6. And here comes the trap again over the top. Left side, Burris up ahead. And the ball loose on the sideline and flipped inbounds. Cats come up with another one. Carpenter trying to save it in the corner. Could not as he shuffled the toes. Bobcats cannot make hay on that turnover. And with 3 fouls, here comes Singleton. 9 points as he heads to the bench with 2, and Carpenter with a hand in the cookie jar, trying to come up with the steal on the inbounds. Garrett picks up his second.
And the board says team 4th. I only have 3. I'm missing somebody.
I got 4. He's got 2. Rogers with 1. Ogle with 1.
There you go.
Delancey over the top, out ahead to Singleton. He had 2 guys up ahead of him. He said, I'll take it myself. And he does. A little layup drill, and Singleton's 7th period point. And it's a 4-point Cambridge lead. Barnett off the dribble, off the high pick, works to the middle, just beyond the foul line. And it'll fade away, and Barnett knocks it down.
And as you can see, as we mentioned, he's got to be more aggressive with that ball and getting some looks.
Colts handle it again, nobody back, and hustling is Moore, but he'll foul Singleton here. Caden Moore picks up his first, team's 5th. And Singleton will head the line and shoot 2. Dane 1 for 1 tonight at the line. If he can stay out of foul trouble, he's having a pretty good night.
Right.
Puts one up and does not get a good roll out of it.
Singleton 53% on the season from the charity stripe. He does lead the team, but can't convert on that first one.
So Carpenter will step out. Greg back in for the Cats. 1:43 left in half. 28-22. Bobcats. And Singleton able to flip that second one in. Cambridge pushing up the floor. Colts back. To Moore on the right side. Works off the pick. Back to Ogle, top of the key. Trying to find Barr down low. He's got Singleton on his backside. And with 3 fouls, that's the guy you want to attack, right?
Exactly
back to Ogle. Barnett.
Just a lot of standing around for the Cambridge offense.
Not a lot of movement. A little 3-man game on the near side here. That's been it. And they'll reset to the right side. Barnett. Back to Moore. Spins down the lane. Tried to find Ogle and went too deep and lost it. Delancey with it out ahead to Villas. Under 50 left in the half. Colts trying to close the deficit here a little bit more. 40. Down the lane, Davis, and a reach in. Grab by Ogle. His second will send Gunnar Davis to the line. 37 left, 28-23, and the Colts another couple free throws here.
Again, just kind of lazy defense there and not rotating and reaching, and they're not going to give him a shot on this.
Oh, I thought he was heading up, so let me cancel those out of my scorebook. I was way ahead of everybody. They'll lob it out on top. Singleton with the attack. Doesn't get it to go. Barr might have adjusted that one a little bit on the way up. Gets the rebound anyway. And under 30 to go. Cats with a 5-point lead in the ball. Arrow favors the Bobcats too with the first possession of the second half if they can knock one down here. Barnett, as the defense backs off of him. Colts settle back into looks a 2-3 zone. Barnett on the right side, 5 seconds left. Back out to Ogle, left side Moore. He'll launch it at the buzzer, doesn't get the bounce, and the Cats will just take that 5 to the house as we are at the halftime break. 28-23, our halftime score. Bobcats and the Colts in what always seems to be a tight cross-county rivalry game. Take a break. We'll be back. Stat scoring and more coming up right after these messages.
When it's game night, let Papa John's Pizza on Southgate Parkway feed your team after the game. Hey, this is Shannon. You can create your pizza with all your favorite toppings or pick one of our specialty pizzas like the Super Hawaiian, the Philly cheesesteak, the Works, or the Fiery Buffalo Chicken. Don't forget we also have chicken poppers, wings, breadsticks, and cheese sticks too. Call 740-439-PAPA. That's 439-7272 or order from your phone at papajohns.com.
Now located at 16050 McConnellsville Road in Caldwell, Ohio. Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance Company is a mutual insurance company established in 1896 for the purpose of providing insurance coverage to rural Ohio. They offer a product to meet your insurance need, whether it is for a farm, rental dwelling, home in town, secondary or seasonal dwelling, churches, or mobile home. They partner with Grinnell Mutual Insurance Company to offer liability coverage to package with their patrons Buckeye Mutual policy. Call today at 638-3604 and follow them on Facebook at Patrons Buckeye.
I was sitting in my car and it wouldn't start. I lifted the hood and the engine was falling apart. What would I do? My eyes filled with tears. Then on the radio I heard of West 40 by Pay here, where for a little money down and a little each week, I could have a car, nice, shiny, and sleek. So I walked in the door and I put the money down. Now I got a nice car that I can drive around. West 40 by Pay here will help rebuild your credit. The corner of Dewey and Route 40 in Cambridge, don't you forget it.
West 40 Auto Sales, corner of Route 40 and Dewey Avenue in Cambridge, is home of the guaranteed credit approval, with most loans approved while you wait. Go to their website to fill out an online loan application, west40autosales.com. You'll also find their weekly special listed there.
Whether you are experiencing pain in your knee, tingling in your fingers, or a sore back, Superior Med Orthopedics is here for you. Their patients' health and safety is their top priority, and they currently offer telehealth visits for your initial appointment. Take comfort in knowing when you come to their facility, they're following all protocols to ensure you remain safe. Find out all their team offers by visiting seormc.org today to learn more.
Are you paying too much for homeowners insurance? Has your insurance company raised your deductible? Hi, this is John Valentine with Valentine Insurance. Many people can't accurately answer these questions. With many premiums escrowed into mortgages, homeowners don't pay attention to changes to their policies anymore. It's time you visit Valentine Insurance for a true, no-obligation review of your insurance policy. Call 994-1776 or stop by our office at 739 Southgate Parkway in Cambridge.
Back at Gene Ford Court, we have reached halftime. 28-23 Bobcats led it after one, 15-7. Colts closed that gap, though, and actually took a brief lead in the second half. Or second quarter, I should say. It's Delancey and Singleton getting it done for the Colts there. As Delancey with 11, Singleton with 12. They have all of the Colts' first half points. Bobcats a little bit more balanced scoring, but Barnett leads them. He's got an 11, including an early 3-5 for Davion Barr. Caden Moore with 4, Ogle with 3, Carpenter with 3, and Braden Gregg with 2. Bobcats have been to the line 10 times, have only been able to make 4 of those. The Colts 2 of 4. And 3-point shots. Cambridge has 2 that have gone in here in the first half, and the Colts 3, all by Delancey.
Well, from a shooting perspective, Cambridge shooting 50% from the free throw line. Again, we kind of mentioned Devin Ogle and Davion Barr struggling a little bit there, but 4 for 8 there. But, you know, combined, they're only shooting 40% from the floor. Compared to Meadowbrook, who is shooting 53% from the floor, and most of that, as you just mentioned, Delancey with those 2 threes, they're shooting 100% in that second quarter. He knocked down 2 threes. They're shooting 50% from beyond the arc and 55 inside, and as you mentioned, that's really basically Singleton getting those easy looks. A couple nice shots, but you know he got some really easy looks there because the Cambridge defense was non-existent. But Meadowbrook shooting the ball pretty well. I mean, they've only made 2 of 5 from the free throw line. But really, both teams aren't shooting the ball that bad. It's just been a lack of defense on the Cambridge end and too many turnovers for Meadowbrook.
Yeah, we said that at the outset that turnovers were going to be a key both ways, and the Bobcats, probably the bulk of their point tonight have come off of turnovers. And there's been a couple of times that they've taken the ball away and failed to hold on to it long enough to get points. So, you know, that's got to be something that the Colts continue to work on in the second half, is handling that pressure. And a lot of those things, as you said at one point, it hadn't even been intense pressure by the Bobcats, but the Colts pass over the top has gotten away from them a couple of times.
Yeah, if you'll notice that in that full court trap, it's really not a trap, really. It's just a full court pressure. That backside guy, and Davion did it a couple times there towards the end, where as that pass is coming back towards that middle, he's got to rotate and be able to defend that. It leaves the deep guy open, but the other guy's got to rotate as fast as he can to be able to make up for that. And they really weren't doing that. It was really just a token kind of pressure. It did help them a few times, couple 10-second counts, and then a couple bad passes by the Colts really helped them out. But it's really more token pressure. But Cambridge is going to have to do something in the offensive end in the half court, because Meadowbrook is playing pretty good half court defense and really pressuring the shot. Cambridge is getting some shots off, but they're not the best looks, and each one of them is contested.
A lot of the Bobcat turnovers have come as they tried to attack the basket, and the Colts have done a good job of just collapsing, and it's too congested.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of Cat turnovers tonight, trying to force it inside or trying to take maybe one pass too many to try to get that better look.
Or try to drive through 2 or 3 guys. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, a couple times underneath the basket, Cambridge was being a little bit too unselfish. Take that thing up and get fouled and get to the free throw line.
Speaking of fouls, we've got some foul issues so far tonight for the Colts. Probably the biggest concern they have, Dane Singleton has 3, and Colton Delancey has 2. So your 2 leading guys there have to be a little bit concerned with how they defend in the second half. Bobcats probably need to be a little bit more purposeful in the second half of trying to create space and attack those guys. On the Cambridge end, Ogle has 2 and Carpenter with 2. As the Colts did get to the line, or I should say the Cats got to the line in the 1-on-1 late, but it didn't really make much of a difference.
Yeah, if I'm Cambridge, I'm isolating Davion Barr on Singleton on the block for sure, because you want Singleton to get in foul trouble. He's their only scoring threat, basically, other than those couple threes by Delancey. You want to pick up fouls. Plus, Davion's really your best player inside from a movement standpoint. Now, even though Devin Ogle can score in there, I think we're all in agreement that Davion can move and adjust shots, and he's got the left hand, so that throws people off too. So I'm isolating Davion for sure on Singleton down low and see if they fall for it. But if you're Meadowbrook, keep doing what you're doing, except take care of the ball a little bit, and to be able to get into that half-court set, to be able to put some pressure on Cambridge's defense, who's lacking. So even the Cats certainly are ahead by 5, but this game is very far from over.
Oh, the Colts have made a couple of runs at the Cats and have retaken the lead a couple of times tonight. I don't think you'll see them go quietly into the night this evening as well, as they've come out and taken some shots here. Delancey working that perimeter. I've watched him here a little bit warming up, and he's knocking some threes down warming up, so he's got it loose and ready to go, and that's his role tonight. He's been step outside and knock some threes down, and he has 3 of them here in the first half, and 11 points total of the Colts 23. So as we wind things down here, 28-23, getting ready to start the second half of action. Bobcats got a little deeper to their bench that first half with Reagan Rogers now, and he stepped in and like he's been playing all along. He didn't knock down any shots because he looks a little rusty, but he stepped in and gave him some good minutes.
Yeah, he has had some practices under his belt the last week, so that's good news for him. It's going to take a little time to get those legs underneath him. Practice is one thing, but game time, is a little bit different speed, and so it's going to take a little bit of time to get him up and running, but he certainly is going to be something that the Cats are going to need down the stretch.
We've talked about this a few times this year, certainly pertaining to the Cats, as Carpenter starts the second half, along with Barr, Ogle, Barnett, and Moore, that the first 2 or 3 minutes of the third period is key for them. That's not been a good point for them in most of the season, or at least the third period in general. But the Colts will respond with their starting lineup. Actually, with Singleton in. He did not start tonight, but he is out there now, him and Delancey, Campbell, DeVillas, and I think Gunnar Davis. And indeed, as the Cats will attack right off the bench, Carpenter steps out, puts up a quick 3, and Devin Ogle trying to reach in and steal that rebound, and he'll pick up foul number 3 on him. So quickly, Devin Ogle with some foul situation. Cambridge full court pressure, Colts again. Passed it in the backcourt, trying to get the diagonal, stolen away by Barnett. If the Bobcats can do anything with it here. Back to Carpenter, passed up and look at a 3, will penetrate, stop, pop. That one off the mark, chased it down in the corner, got his own rebound. That's just hustle right there. And Ogle trying to feed Barr, and they're going to call the shove. There's Barr trying to catch that one going to the hoop, and the foul on Davis, his second.
Yeah, if you're going to miss a shot, you better go chase it down. And Garrett Carpenter's averaging, I think, 5 rebounds a game, so he's no stranger to the hoop.
Moore got a little head and shoulders fake to get Singleton in the air. Singleton chased him down the lane, and he slapped him from behind. Dane Singleton just picked up number 4, and he'll send Caden Moore to the line. But that hurts in multiple ways early in this third period, as Moore will shoot 2. The first one off the mark. Caden hadn't had many chances at the line on the season. Was 7 of 8, though, coming in before that miss. As Dane's going to sit down for a while.
And Cambridge better take advantage of this with Singleton on the bench.
Second one by Caden Allnett. And the Bobcats lead up to 6. More full court pressure. Singleton's been one of those guys in the backcourt handling that heat, and Burris bangs one off the knee of a Bobcat. Don't rub it. There's Campbell inbound to Burris. We'll go back to him backwards. Right up into the double team again. And a timeout taken by Coach Jarrett. 7:13 left here still in the third, and it has not been a good start for his team as his leading scorer comes out, picks up foul number 4, and again continuing to have trouble with that full court pressure. And what do they need to do? I mean, they don't seem to be able to get the ball to the middle.
Yeah, the middle is the magic spot. I've told kids that, coaching them forever. You got to get the ball to the middle. And they're not being able to get it to the middle because Cambridge is moving that first guy up to be able to defend the middle, which is great. And that's why it's taking him so long to be able to come up the court. But right here is why Coach Jarrett called a timeout. He does not want their guys going to the sideline. And so, you're talking about getting trapped at the sideline basically with an extra defender using that sideline. So he's got to be able to get the ball to the floor, to the middle of the floor. No reason that you can't bring the guy who brings the ball out of bounds, bring him up to the middle right away to be able to catch somebody off guard.
Get into Delancey, and Ogle with 3 fouls will give him space. And Delancey said, I got this. Go ahead, move up the floor. He'll give it up to Burris. And Campbell, trying to baseline drive, cannot handle the ball, and he'll lose it out of bounds. So the Colts here with 3 turnovers in their first 3 touches, haven't got a shot up yet.
Yep, and if I was, you got to be real careful with your Devin Ogle here with 3 fouls too. You certainly don't want to pick up number 4 this early.
Colts come right back and attack with a trap, and it forces the Bobcats into a tempo they can't handle. And the Bobcats turn it over. Little jump trap there when the Cats crossed half court.
Hey, you know, if you know that Cambridge can't handle the pressure real well, it's a great decision. And just like that, they give it right back.
The Colts throw it away in the backcourt. The Burris trying to get it into Campbell, throw it past him, and the Cats will get it right back. And this game's quickly deteriorating. Neither team with a field goal here in the first minute or 2. Down low, Barr, extra step to the hoop, got away with it, and laid it up and in.
Easy game when you can get Davion on the block and a defender on his back.
Colts again, over the top, down to Davilla's in the corner, back out. Davis, he'll launch the 3, cha-ching. Gunner Davis. 31-26, Colts again. Hit one at the right time, and nice look inside by Barnett. Ogle flashed open, nobody picked him up, and the Cats steal it again. Carpenter down low, Moore puts it up and in, and the Cats defense creating offense real quickly now. It's 9 points. Campbell up to Davis, he'll square up again, knocked it down with a foot on the line. Gunner Davis taking his time but knocking it down.
Yeah, was taking his time, nice shot.
Cats will attack the other way, nobody stopped Josiah Barnett, and he'll say thank you, please, for his 13th point. 35-29 Cats. Burris down the lane. Swipe from behind. Kick out to Davilla's. His 3 no good. Barr will pull it down. He's got a 1-on-5, and he'll slow it down a little bit. Bobcats working around the edge. Ogle looking to the bench for a sub.
And again, with 3 fouls, good time to sub him anyway.
Barr, lucky to get that ball. Takes it to the hoop, knocked out of his hand, and the reach in. If that's Delancey, and I think it might be, that's number 3 on him. Ogle will take a seat for a while. Braden Gregg back in, 37-29. 5:11 left here in the third. Carpenter looking. Finally into Moore. He'll have to dribble out of trouble. Down on the paint, kick out to Gregg, right side, Carpenter. Off the dribble penetration, back to Barnett. Standstill 3 with a long rebound, back out to the Cats. Moore will chase it down. Delancey almost came up with the steal. Barr with it, backdoor cut to Gregg. Nice look. And Gregg in the right place at the right time. 10-point Bobcat lead, and that'll force the Colts to burn a timeout, and I see Singleton head to the scorer's table with 4 fouls.
Well, down 10. I mean, you can't.
Now or never, right?
Yeah, you can't afford to let it get to 15 or plus. So if you're going to ride, you got to ride with your guy that's leading their team in scoring, and certainly the game when scoring. He's just going to have to be able to let a couple shots go inside maybe and not pick up that 5th one.
39-29 Bobcats, 4:42 left here in the third period, and it was a very slow start to this quarter for both teams, but Cambridge's defense, eventually they forced a bunch of turnovers in the period, and they were able to get a couple of baskets out of some of them.
Yeah, 5 already for Meadowbrook in the period compared to 1 for Cambridge. You're exactly right. And man, it was slow moving there for those first couple minutes, but boy, did it pick up quick. You know, one thing I was going to mention there, that Braden Gregg, that last bucket by Gregg. You know, kids out there watching and listening, if you want quick, easy buckets, always cut to the hole. Did you see Braden? He was hanging out at the three-point line, just kind of watching, and the defense loses you out there. Man, cut to the hole and you get quick, easy baskets.
Bobcats do a pretty good job of sharing the ball. They've got a lot of assists on the season. I think 131 assists, which is pretty high number, especially when you consider how many turnovers they have. They're almost even, 50-50, which is something you don't typically see.
No, they average actually over 14 a game, which is pretty good.
Full court pressure applied again. Delancey in the backcourt with the Cats up 11. Over the top to Davila, back to Delancey. Davis, left side. He's been hot this period. Back out on top. Singleton, he'll pass to the wing and stolen away by Barnett. He'll take it coast to coast to lay it up. And in Josiah Barnett with the steal and deuce. He's got 15 tonight. And the Cats lead starting to extend, 41-28. Delancey between the circles. Cats stepping out on him a little more. He'd been an offensive threat out there. Nearly stolen again, and indeed it is. Tapped out of bounds, touch last by the Colts, and here come the Cats again. Ogle steps in for Barr.
Devin Ogle back in again. Still 4 minutes left in this third.
Carpenter to Barnett in the corner. They'll give him the shot. He'll take it. Cha-ching. He kind of faked it at one point. The defense turned and looked away, and then he took it.
Take advantage of it.
As Moore nearly comes up with another steal, and it will stay to the Colts. 3.5 left here, 44-28. Colts scored 5 early points. Gunnar Davis knocked down a 3 and followed it up with a long jumper, but that's been it. As the Cats haven't let Delancey get free outside the arc. He's got it there. He'll catch it and shoot it just on cue. Colton can't come up with it. Rebound to Ogle as bodies fall around. Barnett to Moore in the corner. He'll launch the 3. Chase down his own rebound and keep it alive. Back to Greg right side. He'll spot for the 3 ball. That one no good. And over the back. Yeah, Gunnar Davis thought the foul was on Ogle. Instead, it's on him. That's his third.
And that's the right call. He signaled, the official signaled the wrong direction. And Ogle said, wait a minute, I just got mugged. That can't be on me.
44-28, Cats with the lead and the ball. Back to Barnett. 3 from the left corner. That one, again, off of Mark DeVillas with the rebound. And the Cats will quickly trap him, and he threw it away. And that has been the MO all night long. Put pressure on the ball, and the Colts will give it up. And they have double-digit times tonight.
Yeah, 4 straight threes here for Cambridge. They're going to have to start getting some better looks at it.
And there is a Delancey hand check. And Colton with his 4th. And so now the Colts with a lot of time left here. 3 guys that have scored points for him tonight have 4, 4, and 3 fouls. Right side, Carpenter, feed down low, trying to get it to Ogle, and they're going to call the 3-second violation as Braden Gregg getting his mail delivered there. So the Cats with another turnover. Colts facing again more Cambridge pressure. Get it into the corner, Delancey. To Campbell, right back to him. And he finds the cutter up ahead, and Singleton. Outside the arc, Dane off the dribble. Gave it up, got it back. Now that's a nice little play. Got it to Delancey, back to Singleton, and they'll lay it in.
That's a good look there to be able to get it right back to him. Again, cut to the hole, good things happen.
Colts have gone about 4 minutes without a hoop. 44-30 as the Bobcats pulling away here in the third. Barnett off the dribble, down the lane, fake the pass off the glass. Josiah Barnett, 9 in the period, 18 on the night.
And that's the Josiah Barnett that Cambridge needs.
And trying to come up with another steal. Barnett all over the place, him and Carpenter. And that's a sophomore and a freshman, and that's a pretty good nucleus for the future right there.
Yeah, again, he's the captain on the floor. He's got the ball in his hands more than anybody else. The first couple games, he was trying to get in the feel of things and seeing where he fit in and not really being aggressive. But certainly the last 4 or 5 games, he's been much more aggressive with the ball.
Rogers and Barr check in, and Ogle aggressively trying to get the steal, picks up his 4th foul. Devin, just see the ball, get the ball.
Yeah, again.
And he just believes he can get it all the time. He doesn't think about the consequences sometimes. As the Colts will get it inbound to Singleton, and he shuffled the feet and didn't necessarily agree with the call, but picked up the dribble there and did a 360. 16-point Bobcat lead with 1:40 left here in the third. Barr over to Ogle. He'll take the 15-footer and knock it down. Devin Ogle just casually flipped it up there. If you can make that, why can't you make a free throw, right?
Right.
18-point Cambridge lead. Delancey contested. Rogers comes up with the loose one. Barnett didn't know there was a defender there. Nobody helped him out. Burris came up with it, and he threw it away. Trying to bang it off a Bobcat, put it on the sideline, and Barnett will get a much-deserved break. And Alex Lacey, 5'9" senior, checks in for the Cats. 1:08 left, and the Colts, Zayden Yeagle in for the first time. 5'8" junior. A little over a minute left here. Carpenter. Out on top, Ogle to Rogers. Back to Barr, he'll attack, and yep, a little out of control. And Dane Singleton rolled the dice there with 4 fouls drawing that charge, and he was able to get it against Barr, just his first, but Barr with a chance there to maybe get Singleton out of the game if they call it the other way, right?
Yeah, I'd rather him with Singleton on his back to be able to post him up. That'd be your better option.
And Davila is trying to lead the ball down the floor against the break, threw it away, and it will go back to the Bobcats with 41 left here in the third.
That's the 12th turnover this half.
Carpenter will get his first break of the period. And Mason Gregg, 5'9" freshman, checking in. 18-point Bobcat lead, last 30 seconds of the period. Rogers out on top, and when he gets a little more accustomed, that'll be a good position for him. Lacey, long deuce, that one short of the mark. Rogers kept it alive. Back out on top, Ogle down low feed to Barr, and that's too easy. Barr's 9th of the night. 8 on the clock. Cats continue to attack with that full court pressure. And the Colts get it all the way down. Burris at the buzzer, launched it at the hoop, and that will fall off the mark. But the Bobcats do damage here in the third period. And a 22-point period for the Cats, and they lead at 50-30 as we head to the fourth period. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
I'm not buying till I check down for.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job, your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there's one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doan Ford. You can be certain that you'll always get a great deal and the best service afterwards. In business for nearly 60 years has given Doan Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doan Ford. Online at DoanFord.com.
Back at Gene Ford Court, 8 minutes left. And this first part of the Guernsey County rivalry, actually Cats play one Guernsey County rival tonight, and Friday night the Cats will host the Warriors from Buckeye Trail, and then in about a week at Meadowbrook High School for part 2. Big third quarter for the Cats, 22-7, outscoring the Colts here, forcing a lot of turnovers and getting a lot of transition hoops there. And I dare say we'll see a lot of fresh jerseys maybe here in the fourth quarter.
Well, you hope so.
as the Colts will have the opening possession. Inbound to Delancey in the backcourt. Cats will bring the trap on him. Nearly stolen. Yes, it was. Rogers out ahead. And the layup for Davion Barr gives him 11. Thought he might throw it down there again.
I think he learned his lesson the first time around.
Colts out ahead. Burris and Barnett said, "Not in my house," and he swatted that away, but he will pay the price with the foul.
When Barnett says, "Wait, I got all ball." Yeah, you did get ball, but you also got his head and his shoulders too.
And shoulders and body.
Funny how kids, they don't think about those kind of things.
Burris to the line will shoot 2. There's the lefty, puts the first one up and off the mark. Just a freshman. A lot of young guys getting experience tonight for the Colts.
And that's Burris' first free throw attempt on the season.
Can't get the second one to go. And I'm going to say the Cats mishandled it there. Ogle had it. And he had Delancey kind of on his back a little bit. If he had stepped back and boxed him out, it might have been a foul. But Cats turned it over. Leading 52-30. Delancey, deep 3. Maybe a little too long as Rogers pulls down the rebound, pushes it out to Moore, to Barnett. Little hesitation move, goes baseline, trying to feed it back to Rogers. Tap right back to him. And Josiah Barnett has his 22nd point and a timeout taken by the Colts with 7:17 left here, and game running away from him, 54-30.
And that is their 5th timeout.
I got Barnett with 22. The scoreboard says 20. You're probably.
Yeah, I always add them up afterwards. I got a lot of stuff going on. I can't add them up as we go.
I know. He's had a pretty good night, though. Attack in the basket. He's knocked down a couple of threes. Shooting percentage probably pretty good, too.
Yeah, I got 22. So you are correct, buddy.
We've got watchers all over the world down in sunny Florida.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, Jerry and Brent Boyer are watching the game. Wave. Hope you guys aren't too sunburnt by now. They normally, if they were here, but they would be in the gym. But tonight, they're in Florida.
The comforts of the living room.
Holly, they're both probably about a dozen golf balls into their trip down there. Dipping up to the Gators.
That was just on the front 9. What are you talking about? Yes, 22 for Josiah Barnett.
That's what I got.
Yeah.
So we are correct.
Of course we are.
He leads the Cats 14 for Singleton. He's only got 2 here in the second half. And Delancey had 11 at halftime. He has yet to get the lid off here in the second half. And Cats merciless in this full court pressure. That has been a lot of their offense, so they're going to keep it on.
At least for a few minutes.
Out ahead, tapped away, and a 10-second call. That's the 3rd or 4th one, I believe. Yep,
that's number 4.
The Colts not really moving the ball with some urgency there. Yeah, Singleton had it knocked out of his hand, got it back, surveyed the floor, and time was up. Colts extending pressure a little bit here on Moore. Delancey jumps out on Barr, knocks it away from him. It'll be a loose ball picked up by Campbell, who'll take it in, hand it back to Colton, and knocked out of bounds by a hustling Reagan Rogers. And the Cats go a little deeper to their bench. Bryson Anderson, 6'3" junior, as Barr gets a break for maybe the last 6:49. Davila has Allen on top to Singleton. Feed to Delancey, back to Singleton. He was triple teamed. There was no way that ball was getting through. Rogers came out of there with it. To Moore left side. Back to Rogers, and 6.5 to go. He'll reset between the circles. Has a pick either way. Works to the right, back to Moore. backing his way in. Down low. Nice look inside by Ogle, but Anderson could not finish with the defense all around him. And Ogle contesting the ball up the floor, knocks it out of bounds. And Devin Ogle plays like he has no foul.
Right. And that's why he's got 4.
That's why he's got 4. But that's okay. I mean, that's just his game.
Yeah,
he's going to play aggressively.
But, he's got to, at some point you got to understand that, just going after every single ball in the air and every ball on the floor, you got to be a little smart about it.
Nice pass by Singleton to Delancey, and he will get his first bucket of this half. Taking it to the hoop, 54-32. Carpenter back in the game for the Bobcats. Is Barnett pulling up at the top of the key. He's feeling it, but that one didn't go for him. Davila's with the rebound, and Barnett, tried to pick his pocket. And Dane tonight had a tough time against that pressure by the Bobcats, but not that time.
Well, the Colts have 15 turnovers in this half, 26 on the game. So no reason to foul. Chances are it's going to come to you at some point.
Barnett picks up his second, team's 4th. And Davila's moved to the hoop. That one didn't catch the rim and in. Rebounded by Ogle, out ahead, Carpenter. Moore with Delancey just pressuring the ball out on top. Colts trying to come up with some steals here, but a little bit late now to cut into this deficit at 54-32. Moore had a step, pulls up, tried to kiss it off the glass, came up short of the mark. Anderson rebound, stick back, couldn't get that one to go. And Delancey with the rebound, and Moore the frustration reach in. Caden picks up his second, team 6th.
Nice, since there was not a JV game tonight. A couple younger guys getting an opportunity to get some minutes tonight.
Barnett comes up with a loose ball on the inbounds all the way to the hoop, switch to the left hand. No call there, rebound stick back by Ogle. And Devin Ogle with 9. And the Cats with a second chance there. And on the other end, Singleton uncontested to the hoop. Defense could disappear here in the last 4.5 if both these teams went after it. Just started running and gunning. Barnett drew Delancey away from the hoop. He'll let him go all the way in. He'll switch to left hand. If Delancey with 4 fouls can't stop him, you know that Singleton's got 4 and he's not going to go after him. And another loose ball picked up by the Bobcats. Stoner to the floor, who just checked in, comes up with a steal out ahead. Ogle, kick to the corner. Barnett back out to Carpenter. Open 3. Can't get that one to go down. And the rebound by Burris knocked out of bounds off a Bobcat. And the Cats will continue to go to their reserves. Rylan Matthews in, and Ogle to the bench with 3:55 and counting, 58-34 Cats. And Delancey up the sideline, immediately cut off and fouled by Matthews. One way to make sure you get your name on the radio, right?
Well, that and get your name in the book. Now
Foul.
You're official.
It is official.
Unfortunately, you let the other team get to the free throw line.
Delancey tonight 0 for 1. He'll knock one down here. And get a second one, as that was the Bobcats' 7th team foul. 58-35. Knock them both down.
Nice touch by Delancey.
A little offense, defense here. Singleton still hanging around with 4. Picked up his 4th foul early in this second half, and most people probably would have thought by this point, 3:43 and counting, he'd be gone. But the Cats work it around the edge here. Carpenter pull up from the wing, left it short. Moore hustling for another rebound. He's done that a few times tonight. Barnett open. They'll give him a deep three. He'll take that one and just maybe a half step outside his range. Pulled down by Campbell. He'll get it back into the double team and over the top to Davis. And he traveled. Campbell with it out on top was looking and shuffling the feet, and Caden Moore will step out. For Caden, a nice night. He's had some rebounds, 7 points. And Reagan Rogers back in.
3 rebounds on the night for Caden Moore.
He might have been all on the offensive end.
Yeah, well, 2 of them were certainly on offensive end, hustling after it.
Cats with a little motion here. Cone Stoner left open for 3, and he tries to bomb one from long range off the mark. DeVillas with the rebound. Over to Delancey, up the floor. Finds Singleton. He'll attack the hoop all the way down and to the line. And Matthews, that's his second foul in the last minute. And a 2-shot chance here for Dane Singleton. 2 for 3 at the night for Dane. He gets to the hoop in a hurry.
Yeah, I mean, and he gets there. He's smooth when he gets there, too. He's a big body, and he's not overly quick, but he does have that nice first step that gets some separation.
But at 6'3", he covers about 15 feet every time he takes a step.
Maybe a little more than that.
Missed the first one, second one coming up. Step back a little further and doesn't get the roll here. Matthews with the rebound. Out ahead to Gregg. And the reverse to Rogers, missed it, puts it back up, doesn't get the bounce this time. Loose on the floor, the Cats scramble for it, and Carpenter comes out of there with it. Trying to get Rogers a bucket here. And it isn't for a lack of trying. He fakes right, goes left, there it is. Attack the basket, and Reagan Rogers will lay it up and in. 60-36 Cats, 2-minute mark.
4 rebounds on the night to go with that bucket for Reagan.
All tapped away by Carpenter. He'll dive to the floor. Him and Delancey, and the Cats come out of there with it. They'll call the jump ball. And it will belong to the Cats. $60-36 Cats. I hope my granddaughter's in bed by now. I'm sure that she probably is.
She's still on Christmas break. She can stay up a little later.
She's always on Christmas break. Ryland Matthews back to Gregg. And a travel by Braden Gregg, and the Cats will give it up. Burris checks back in. DeVillas to the bench with 1:39 to go. 60-36 Cats. And a continued pressure by Cambridge. Handle it this time ahead to Burris. Trying to take Gregg off the dribble and a little out of control. They'll call the bump, I believe. And Braden Gregg picks up his first, and that will send Burris to the line. Jacob 0 for 2 earlier in the period. He gets 2 more chances here.
Some more bodies for the Cat.
Yeah. Shuffling guys in and out. Lacey back in. Anderson back in. Burris free throw. He'll get a bonus. And is definitely in the scoring column now. .121 left. Burris, second one no good, got his own rebound. Back out to Davis, left side. Burris fake the jumper, kick out to the right corner. Campbell will attack, got to the foul line and no more. Then back to Burris. His jumper is good. Under a minute. 60-39. St. John Gibson in for the Cats. Nice backdoor cut by the Bobcats. Mason Drake, he couldn't get it to go. Burris out on top. They'll give him the three. He's hot. Not this time. Rebound. Delancey. And he'll go to the line. So Rylan Matthews has been in the game 3 minutes.
Hey.
And has 3 fouls.
Foul a minute, buddy. He's lucky there's only a half a minute left.
Yeah. Delancey. Good. Bolton made 3 in a row there. That was the Bobcat 10th team foul. And another.
That'll help his 50% average on the season.
Yeah. Lacey from the right side for the Bobcats. Line drive, no good. Rebound. Davis. Up ahead, Campbell. To Burris. He'll penetrate. And, yeah, the Euro step. He said, he shook his head, said, yep, I should have shot it on that move, and it was not there. So Colts will turn it over one more time. It's 11 seconds to go, 60-41. And the Bobcats will get it to the half court, and that'll do it. The clock ticks to 0-0. And round one of the cross-county rival between the Cats and the Colts goes to the Bobcats. The home court working its magic here for the Cats tonight, who win this one 60-41. The Bobcats will see their record improved to 3-7. The Colts still on the 0 at 0-9. Once again, final score tonight from Gene Ford Court, Cambridge 60 and Meadowbrook 41. Stay tuned. We'll have our post-game wrap-up coming up. We'll get our stats, scoring, and post-game commentary right after these messages.
The Rogers Company congratulates the Meadowbrook Colts team on a great season. The team at Rogers Company works hard, too, to earn your business. They inspect, install, and repair all makes and all models of furnaces, humidifiers, and air purifiers. Don't be left out in the cold. Give them a call at 740-685-8677.
In your time of need, will you be happy with your cut-rate car insurance? Will you have the coverages you need? Valentine Insurance is dedicated to protecting you and your family when you need it. As an independent insurance agency, we have partnered with many reputable insurance companies who even have local claims adjusters to provide you with unbeatable service. Are you going to trust a talking lizard to help you with your claim? Really? Don't let this happen to you. Trust the professionals at Valentine Insurance. Call 994-1776.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Upside, the free app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes. I get real cash back just for buying the gas I was going to buy anyway.
But is it a hassle to use?
No. It's super fast and easy, and I I can cash out whenever I want.
That's a total no-brainer. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code HEAT for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's promo code HEAT. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code HEAT for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code HEAT.
Your home and your car are likely your two biggest investments. Protecting them from unexpected damage is a prime concern to WB Green Insurance. They are proud to represent Westfield Insurance, a financial service organization that provides insurance products for your home, auto, and business. Sharing knowledge, building trust is Westfield Insurance's pledge to their customers, along with personalized claim service that's fast and friendly. To learn how Westfield can help with your insurance needs, talk to WB Green Insurance today.
Back at Gene Ford Court post-game wrap-up here in a Bobcat victory tonight, 60-41 over the Colts. Bobcat record improved to 3-7. Colts now 0-9. Quarter by quarter, Cambridge led at 15-7 at the end of one, although the Colts did have a brief lead in that period. Second period kind of went back and forth a little bit as the Colts outscoring Cambridge 16-13. Again, an early lead for the Colts in that period as they hit a couple of buckets. Scoring the Cats here made it a 5-point halftime contest, 28-23, but the Cats exploded in that third period for 22, forcing 7 or 8 turnovers on the Colts there, and the Colts only able to come up with 7 points there. And heading to the fourth, it was a 20-point Bobcat lead, and just about where they closed it out as both teams' JVs finished the game up. Cambridge scoring 10 in the fourth, the Colts 11 for a 19-point final margin, 60-41. Individual scoring for the Colts. They got a big night from Colton Delancey. Knocked down 3 threes, went 4 or 5 at the line. He finished with 17. Dane Singleton at 16. And no threes for him, but got to the line 5 times, hit a couple of those. 3 for Jacob Burris, all in the fourth quarter. Gunnar Davis had a good third period for him with 5. Cats, Josiah Barnett leading all scorers tonight with 24. He had a couple of threes, got to the line a couple of times, went 2 for 2 there, but pretty much got to the hoop anytime he wanted to off the dribble tonight. He had a great game. At just about the time we said, you know, he needs to be a little bit more involved in the offense.
He hurt us.
And boom.
Yeah, and and especially tonight, because there were a couple guys that didn't quite get the scoring that they're used to. Garrett Carpenter only made 1 bucket tonight.
He had a 3.
He had a 3. But yeah, Josiah's going to carry the game. Again, you're the point guard. You got the ball in your hands, ideally, more than anybody else. So, you know, you need to make sure that you're taking care of the ball, which he does really well. He handles the ball really well. Dish the ball really well, which he does. But he needs to be more aggressive because he's quick enough to get to the hole, and he's left-handed, so that throws some people off a little bit, and he can cross over. So he gets to the hole a lot. He can finish, and he's a huge catalyst for the Bobcats.
With either hand.
Yeah, I mean, and he can finish. So, and he can knock down those free throws. He hasn't had a lot on the season. He needs to be able to get more, but I think he hasn't had a lot of free throws because he's been making those bunnies.
Davion Barr finished with 11 on the night, not quite up to his average. 7 for Caden Moore. Good floor game for him, a little above his average, but was active on the boards, came up with some steals tonight as well. 9 for Devin Ogle, who had 4 fouls, and we thought for sure at some point he was going to be gone, and he hung around, as did Delancey and Singleton. 3 guys in this game had 4 fouls early in that second half, and I didn't think any of them would make it, and they all did. And a couple of points for Reagan Rogers tonight, 4 for Braden Gregg, and the Bobcats finished with 60 to the Colts 41. 4 of 8 at the line for the Cats. The Colts 7 of 14. And the Colts had 1 more 3 than the Bobcats at 4 to the Cambridge 3. But defense and turnovers certainly a big part of tonight's game.
And we knew that coming in, that was going to be the biggest issue for Meadowbrook. Again, they averaged 22 a game. Tonight they had 31. They had 20 just in the second half alone. So, but constant pressure by Cambridge. I think they turned it up a little bit more there in that second half too. On the full court press. They started to be a little bit more aggressive with that, and the Colts got a little bit more sloppy too. So, yeah, turnovers were going to be the name of the game for sure. Cambridge got a little sloppy there in that second half too. They ended up with 6 for 10 overall. But the difference was Cambridge was able to control the half court. Now, in the first half, Meadowbrook really was frustrating Cambridge to be able to get some decent shots off and some good looks, and they weren't converting. Second half was a little bit different than that. Some of those were fast break points, so they didn't have that half court set. But there were several instances where Cambridge shot 2 or 3 threes in the same possession. Yeah. So the defensive end for Meadowbrook kind of broke down in that second half. But, you know, you got to credit Colton Delancey. Not only did he have 14 points, he also had 5 rebounds to lead the Colts too. And Davion Barr, as you said, an off night scoring a little bit. He was down a little bit on his average, but he also came up with 5 rebounds. And I don't keep track of individual turnovers, so you know I've got enough to keep track of. So I'm sure he caused a lot of turnovers too, but you know with 5 rebounds, I already mentioned Reagan Rogers with 4 rebounds. Devin Ogle, 9 points, again below his average, but he came up with 4 big rebounds too. So Cambridge is a little bit more active on the boards tonight than they have been in the past, but defensively they turned it up a little bit more in that second half because Meadowbrook had their number in that second quarter especially, but Cambridge didn't play real great half-court defense in that first half, so they turned it up a little bit more in the second.
Yeah, Colts by far their best quarter was quarter number 2. They outscored the Cats actually 16-13 in that second period to tighten it up a little bit. And you know, the third period started slow for both teams, and then Cambridge's defense, as you mentioned, they're cranking it up. And we didn't keep points off of turnovers, but I would say of Cambridge's 60 points tonight, probably at least half of them were off turnovers.
I would say that's probably a pretty good estimate. They shot 41% on the night combined from the floor, 50% from 2. So I would guess that there were several of those that were runouts, a big high percentage. But, you know, Meadowbrook shot the ball actually pretty well tonight. They shot 52% from the floor. So they were getting good looks. And, again, they were making those shots in the first half especially. Just did get a lot of shots off in the second half because of that defense and the turnovers that Cambridge made and put them into bad situations.
60-41. Our final score, Bobcats coming up with the win to start the new year out, and they'll be right back in action here on Friday. We'll be there, right there with them, with the Brett Klein crew right back here to give it to you.
That's scary.
And another game we will be streaming here. I think Adam Davenport joined me on the color side there, but we'll have all the video for you here as the Bobcats host another Guernsey County rival in Buckeye Trail.
And should be a pretty competitive game. Trail's got a big senior class that can score. They're having a little bit of success over there, so it should be a fun game. And Meadowbrook is, at least according to my notes, are hosting Philo.
Back in the MVO.
That's correct.
Thanks for tuning in tonight, whether you listen to us on the radio side or stream the video. We appreciate it. Whether you were here in Ohio or somewhere in Florida, down there as part of the, I think the Boyers are down there helping renovate from the hurricane.
So. Yeah, okay, sure.
They might be, who knows? That could be it. Hey, for our crew here, JV, BK, and I'm BK. Till next time, final score, Cambridge 60, Colts 41. Talk to you on Friday. Good night.
Thanks for watching high school basketball from AVC Sports. Tonight's game is brought to you by Doan Ford, patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance, WB Green Insurance, West 40 Auto Sales, Southeastern Med, AMG Vanadium, Valentine Insurance, Woodsfield Savings Bank, The Rogers Company, and Papa John's of Cambridge.